Welcome to the I Just Don't Know podcast with your girl, Angel.
Stay down, came up, God made a way. Stay down.
All right, on tonight's episode, which is our first episode, yay, welcome. We will be discussing choosing you. You're important, you're worthy, you're valuable. Your life, your time, your opinions, your thoughts, your dreams, and aspirations, they matter. So let's get straight into it. Choosing you is going to be the hardest thing you've done thus far. But guess what? It's possible. You matter. You matter just as much as the next person. So why not choose yourself? Choose yourself. It looks like putting yourself first, making sure you're making time for self-care, mental health awareness, therapy, dieting, exercise, taking care of your health, taking your medication if you take medication. Um, it it means taking care of you wholly and completely. And you can do it. A lot of times we say, well, I just don't have time. I don't. If you prioritize and dictate your day and your time, you'll find that I actually did have time. I just wasn't prioritizing it. I just wasn't picking myself. You have to dismantle that pick me, people pleasing mentality. You have to dismantle that brick by brick. I mean, you didn't build it overnight. It was an over time thing that you have to consciously decide that I'm going to stop doing this, because people pleasing cripples us into worrying about what people think, what matters to the people instead of what matters to us. We'll put our self second to put others first, to please them, to show that we are worthy and valuable. You were worthy from the beginning. You never had to prove it to anybody. If there's people in your life that are causing you to feel like, I got to prove myself to this person, I got to prove my worth, my value to this person, you need to reevaluate things, because that's not that's not healthy. That's actually toxic, and it causes burnout. It also causes anxiety. It causes you to be stressed and worried. You never live a fulfilling life, because you're so focused on other people's opinions about you, and it really don't even matter. You and God are the majority, so the others, they don't matter. So let's get into it. I did make me some notes, and because it was so much that came to me about choosing yourself and choosing you, that I was like, let me just write me some notes down real quick. And y'all make some notes too. If I say something that encourages your heart, that sticks to you, make a note of it, remember it, quote it to yourself every day. That's another part of choosing you, affirming yourself. You have to consciously decide that I'm going to get up every day and say, you know what? I'm worthy. I'm valuable. I love myself. And I deserve good things to happen to and for me. God, He loved you before you were even thought of. He loved you first, and He picked you first. A lot of times throughout life, we accumulate these different perspectives and assumptions of what we should be or what we're supposed to be, when really we just have to be who God called us to be. So, um, with all of that being said, I want to talk about the way you view yourself. That's critical. That's important. The way you view yourself and the perspective that you have regarding yourself is going to determine who you will become. If you're getting up every day thinking, well, I'm nobody, I have no one, you're going to isolate yourself. You're not going to build a healthy community of people surrounding you to uplift you and affirm you, to let you know you can do these things. Your dreams are not too big. Your aspirations are not too much. You have to make sure you're consciously thinking positive and optimistically of your own self. You got to be careful what you put in up here, because what you're putting in is what you're going to get out. That's what you're going to project. If you're feeling like I'm nobody, I'm not valuable, you're not going to take care of yourself. You're not going to think you're worthy enough to be in good health. You're not going to think you're worthy enough to go after your dreams and be something in life. You don't have to stay in the state that you're in. Your circumstances doesn't determine whether or not you're worthy or valuable. You are already worthy. You're already valuable. It's in you. You just have to tap into it. You have to change what you're telling yourself in order to move on to that next chapter in your life. To be something greater, you have to already believe you're that before you even get there. You have to see yourself as whatever you're trying to go after, whatever you're trying to be. You have to see yourself as that thing or as that person before you even get there. You have to believe you can before you even start. You just have to. If not, you're going to be defeated already off gate. Like, you're not going to be able to get to where you're trying to go because you don't even think you could get there. You don't even think you're worthy and deserving enough to say, I deserve to have a better life. Even if it's just something as simple as learning how to cook, learning how to read books, or just simple things. It could be something huge. You want to go back to school and you just think, well, I'm too old to go back to school. I'm too old to pursue this dream or this passion that I've thought so many years about. No, you're not. No, you're not. Change your perspective. Change the way you think about yourself. Change your inner dialogue, the things that you're whispering to yourself. First of all, the devil is already telling you what you can't do. You don't need to be telling yourself that too. I mean, he's already trying to make you believe. He's a liar anyway. Anything he tells you opposite of God, it's a lie. He's a liar. God has already said and labeled him the father of lies. So anything he's telling you is a lie. He don't need you and him and the naysayers telling you all of this stuff because you're not gonna pursue it. You're not gonna go after it because you're already defeated. Okay. You also want to change your habits. I cannot stress this enough. You have to change your habits. If you're getting up, if you're saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to get up tomorrow. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to do this, this, and this, and all of this. First of all, when you get up in the morning, you want to give thanks to God because he didn't have to give us another chance, another opportunity to make ourselves better, to be what he wants us to be, and to have those things that he has for us. You want to get up in the morning. The first things that you're telling yourself in the morning, it shapes your day. If you getting up in the morning, well, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, dusted, busted, and disgusted. You have to get up with a fresh mind. You know what? I'm going to conquer today. I'm going to be productive. I'm somebody. I can do this. I'm going to go after the things that I want. You got to remember to consciously motivate yourself. You have to consciously decide, okay, I'm tired, but I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to go ahead and do this because if I don't, it's not going to get done. If you keep putting off today, tomorrow, what you could do, however they say it, if you keep putting off tomorrow what you can do today, I think that's how it goes. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. If you constantly doing that, days, weeks, months, years will pass you by. Get up, do it, make it happen, go after it, change your habits. Okay, if you know that you spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours on social media, you need to try to tell yourself, I'm not getting anything done. I need to get off of social media. That's just like me. I was supposed to have been working on the new booklet that I have launching with Moments That Matter. Okay, I sat down on the bed and I was like, I'm going to just get on TikTok for a little while. Nothing against TikTok. I love TikTok and I can't wait to stroll on it again. But I sat down on the bed and 3 hours, 4 hours had passed me by. I hadn't did anything that I had set out to do. I realized I need to change that habit. I need to get off of TikTok for a little while, make some stuff happen, change some things because this is absorbing my time. I can't chase my dreams. I can't chase my goals because I'm wasting my time. We waste our own time. And that's so, when I realized that, I was like, you know what? That's true. We'll be saying, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, but really we're wasting our own time. If you want something to happen, you need to change your habits. You need to focus in on what you're going after. That's just period. I mean, you won't get anything done wasting your own time. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about how the emotions of choosing ourselves sometimes can take us on a ride. And when I say that, what I mean with choosing yourself, it comes with forgiving yourself as well. You have to let those feelings that you have suppressed, and I want to add this in too. Your voice, it matters. Your opinions and the way you feel is valid. You'll meet people will come into your life and they'll try to make you feel invalid. They'll try to make you feel like you're overreacting because you're responding to their actions. Those things are not true, and you have to keep a watchful eye to that, because if you're not careful, you'll be going and going and going, and they'll silence you. They'll have you pushing those things, those feelings, your voice, your emotions. They'll have you pushing that down and pushing that back until you're not saying anything. You're not really standing up for yourself. You're not standing on what you believe. So, with forgiving yourself, you have to let those feelings and emotions come to the surface, because you have to deal with them. Nothing heals under a band-aid. Nothing. Nothing heals under a band-aid. You have to take that band-aid off and let that wound heal from the inside out. You have to deal with those feelings and feel that in order to move on to the next chapter in your life. If you're full and at max capacity with pain, disappointment, distrust, insecurities, all of those things, you don't have room for anything, because you're at max capacity. You don't have room for happiness, peace, joy, love. You don't have any room for that. So you need to feel those emotions, get to the root cause of it. If you're upset and angry and frustrated all the time, you need to do some self-evaluation. You need to find out why. Why am I so upset every day? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I taking this out on other people and projecting? A lot of times we project what we're feeling inside. If we don't want to deal with it, we're going to project it off onto others to get it off of us. And that's toxic. That's not right. And you have to deal with those things, because if not, you'll go through life just mad all the time, feeling heavy and broken. You got to get to the root of why you're feeling that way. A lot of times we take childhood trauma, things that we've dealt with in our lives, and we start to feel like we've allowed certain things to happen to us and in our lives, and we're responsible for it. But really, if you reevaluate and think about it, some things that we allow in our lives is because we're settling. And when we settle, if you're already feeling like I'm not valuable, I'm not worthy, if you're already feeling like that, when someone comes along or circumstances or situations come along in your life that you settle to accept, then it's just going to drive you even deeper into that. Well, I'm not worthy anyway. I'm not valuable anyway. So it's pointless for me to even think I could have better. No, you deserve better. Your circumstances don't have to determine your worth, because they don't determine your worth. You were already worthy and valuable from the beginning, and you have to know that. You have to choose yourself and say, you know what? I am worth more than this. I don't have to accept this. My circumstances can change for the better, because I deserve better. You got to pick yourself up off the floor and decide that I'm going to walk forward. I'm going to go after better, because I deserve better. You have to say, with everything that you're dealing with, you have to forgive yourself and forgive the person. And forgiveness is hard, and it's complicated. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to allow this person back in your life. You don't. But forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. It's to free you from that pain, that disappointment, that hurt that you're feeling. It's to free you from that. So that way you can move on in your life and allow other good feelings and emotions to come in. You have to deal with the feelings, deal with the pain, let it come up to the surface. Don't suppress it. Don't push it to the back of your mind. Don't not talk about it and discuss it. And that doesn't mean you have to go and confront the person that you need to forgive. A lot of people say, well, I need closure. When you go and confront situations, and I know this from experience, I could talk about this from experience. When you go to the person and you telling them they hurt you, I'm upset, and this, that, and the third. When you leaving with the same burden. They can apologize, they can say this, they can say that. But if you really haven't let it go, if you really haven't forgiven them and yourself, you're leaving with the same burden. So you don't waste all your energy going off on them or thinking back on that situation, and you carrying that same burden. But you want to free yourself from that. And if you don't know how, you can ask God to show you how. Lord, show me how to give this to you. Show me how to release this. Show me how to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself. The things that I allowed in my past, the things that I accepted, the things that I did, I had to consciously decide, you know what? I was worth more than that. And I forgive you, Angel, because you didn't know you were seeking love and validation, admiration. You wanted, and we naturally crave those things because that's how God created us. It's just sometimes we go and accept it, and this how it happens. Something happened in our lives at a point. It happened and we decide, oh, why did that happen to me? I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. That little seed, it grows into something bigger and it roots in us. And when we get older and it's time to choose people, relationships, jobs, chasing our dreams and goals, if we have that root, we carrying that root along with us, and we already feel this way about ourselves. When something toxic comes along, well, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, this is all I can get. But in actuality, that's not true. You actually are worthy. Somebody just broke that barrier or broke that mindset that you have, because you're not born with negative thinking. You're not born with that. Something happens along the way that breaks that, and it causes a shift to happen. And sometimes we go through life and we be way older or young, and we realize, you know what, something happened and I just haven't been the same. You have to say, you know what, and you'll never be the person that you were. You'll always evolve. You're either going to evolve into something better, or you're going to keep going in that cycle of I'm unworthy, I'm not valuable, and I deserve this. And no, you have to change that. You have to, those things, you have to deal with those things that you're dragging along with you. Forgive yourself for them and let them go. Release them. Release them. And it takes time. It's hard, but you can do it. It's possible. It has been done. I mean, and growing is painful. It's painful because you're coming out of one state into something bigger, into something better. So you have to give yourself grace. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to speak kindness to yourself. Sometimes the best thing that you're going to hear is what you tell yourself. And most of the times, the worst thing that you're going to hear is what you're telling yourself. So you got to choose. You got to say, am I going to be positive? Am I going to say negative things? Am I going to keep hauling around all of this junk with me? Or am I going to just say, you know what? I'm going to dig a grave. I'm going to put this in it and I'm going to bury it. And I'm never coming back for it. That's how you evolve. That's how you grow. You bury that stuff. Get rid of it. I mean, it's not worth carrying with you. It's heavy. Release it. Be free. Okay. I also want to talk about when you're changing and evolving, you're going to realize and notice the people around you more, especially if you're not like-minded. And It's so hard to say, and we grieve relationships. Like, people don't talk about that, and that's for a whole nother segment. People don't talk about it, but you grieve relationships as well, and the person is still alive. And what I mean by that is, you'll realize that you're changing, you're evolving, you're on the road to growth and choosing yourself. And you'll notice the people that you're surrounded with, they're not really like you, and you're trying to carry them with you. Everybody can't go. And we talk about that a lot. We say that a lot, but it's true. Everybody can't go into new territory with you. When you're going to higher heights, you have to be surrounded by people that trying to go where you're going are already there, because they're already where you want to be, so they can tell you how to get there. The people that's thirsty and hungry for that evolution that you're chasing, that growth that you're chasing, they're going to push you to say, I'm trying to get there too. We keep going. We got to do this. You're going to brainstorm. You're going to figure out ways to do it together. But if you're with people that are pretty much set in their ways, or they're content, they're complacent, you have to cut that off. And I'm not saying they're bad. They're not, because sometimes you're just different. Sometimes you outgrow people, and that's the thing. You get to a place where you say, I want more. You got two people. They're both looking for a job. One person, they go on a job interview, they get turned down, and they go to the car. They go back to the car. Y'all go to the same place for the interview. One person get the interview, they didn't get the job. They go back to the car. The other person get the job. They excited. They looking forward to it, or whatever. Okay, when they get in the car with this other person, they say, man, I can't seem to just, nothing won't happen for me. I'm just sick and tired of all of this, or whatever. That's heavy. That puts a damper on the other person that got the job, that kept thinking positive, that kept going, to say, you know what? I'm just going to keep trying. I'm going to just keep going. And you'll try to encourage them. You giving solutions and they giving excuses. Baby, keep going. You want to get to a higher height, and you can't, if you tie an anchor to your foot and you're trying to swim, you're going to sink to the bottom. I mean, that's just the way gravity works, I guess. But also, you want to not protect people's emotions when it comes to your change. You're choosing you and setting boundaries. We have to learn how to say no. It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to do, but you can do it. You have to say, no, I don't want to. And people will make you feel guilty about not wanting to do something. Well, why not? I just don't want to. You have to respect. I tell this to my nieces and nephews. I tell it to anybody. Respect my no. Respect my no. And that's just period. You have to surround yourself with people that respect your boundaries and don't try to push it. If you're around people that's pushing your boundaries, if you're around people that's not respecting your boundaries, then you have to reevaluate that. That goes back to the people that you're surrounding yourself with. You want to be around people that have healthy boundaries just like you. And if they don't know, you can help them. Well, you have to know your limits. And that's another thing. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you when you need to take a break, when you need to pay attention to yourself, when you need to take a day for self. A lot of us try to chase the grind. A lot of us try to keep going, even though we're exhausted. A lot of us not feeling well. You got headaches. You got different things going on. Check in with yourself. Choose to say, you know what? I cannot put this out. A lot of us are in bad health because we put ourselves second. Go to the doctor. Get your eyes checked. Go to the dentist. I mean, take care of you. How can you give to others when you're running on empty? That's another thing. You have to pour into yourself in order to pour into others. If you're not making any deposits, guess what? It's going to be overdrawn. It ain't nothing in there to give. You depleted. So you have to take a step back, choose yourself and say, I'm going to pour into me. I'm going to do better about myself. I need to be putting myself first so I can be there for others. We talk about it all the time, and people say it all the time. And I broke it down for my brother the other day. A lot of people say sharing is caring. Well, I'm here to object that. Sharing is not caring. Actually, it teaches us to put others before ourselves early on in life. Okay, for example, you have some children, they playing, and you've taught your child or anybody, sharing is caring. Okay, you've drilled that into them. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Well, a child comes up and they say, can I have this toy? Yeah, sharing is caring. You go and find a different toy that you like, is shiny, is glistening, is bright. You want to play with it, it makes noise, it lights up, and they see it too. You're playing with it, you having the time of your life. And they come back, can I play with this toy too? Well, sharing is caring. You gave them that toy. Cycle continues. It goes on and on. Next thing you know, they're sitting over here with a pile of the toys that you had, and you're sitting over here with nothing. But sharing is caring. That teaches us to put ourselves second and put others before us. And that's not the way it should be. You need to put yourself first in order to put others and help others, put them in a position where they can be helped. Like, okay, if you're thinking negatively about yourself, how are you going to tell somebody else to think positive about themselves? You have to practice what you preach. And that's so true, because if you're not thinking positive, it's hard for you to tell someone else to think positive. That's just like if you have somebody that they're going through. You've been where they are, and you've told yourself, I can make it, I'm going to overcome this, and you've overcome. That person comes along and they tell you about what they're going through. It's a similar situation. You're able to tell them, you can overcome that because I did. But if you're constantly thinking, life always happening to me, life always giving me lemons, I just don't know what to do, you always defeated. If somebody else come along that's defeated, you can't help them. You can't help them. That's why you have to be in a place where you've forgiven yourself, you've dealt with your pain and disappointment, and you've healed. You have to pour into yourself and be kind and optimistic and think the best of your life. Think the best about yourself. If you don't, who will? If you're not pouring into you, who will? And people can tell. How you're feeling about you on the inside projects, and you wear it on the outside. It's so important for you to choose you day by day. Take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Get up every day consciously saying, I'm somebody. I'm worth this. I'm valuable and I deserve better. And remember, your circumstances doesn't determine, people don't determine whether or not you're valuable and worthy. You are already worthy. And if you didn't know, now you know. Good night.
God made a way.